What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a great day in store because we have a new project that I'm going to be introducing on this channel and a new build that we're going to be working on. I've wanted to get something else new. You guys have now seen me do quite a bit of work and a build on Blue, the 2016 Dodge Dart 1.4 Turbo, but we're going to be moving on to something new. And this is an excellent car that I am stoked to do a build on here. We are going to be building one of my absolute favorite cars made. So this is going to be an incredibly rare car. Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to show you guys what we have here. What we have here is a 1998 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. Yes, this is the VR4. These are the ones that everybody wants. The twin turbo, all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, legendary JDM car. So we're just going to do a quick walk around. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it, kind of tell you what it needs, kind of what the plans are, and we're going to kind of go from there. But I guess for starters, this car is stupid rare. This is one of 70, I believe, made in the US for this white color. And in total, there's only like 238 of these cars made in the US. So I am absolutely stoked to have this car. And looking it over, it is not too bad at all. I think it'll make for an excellent project car. Now, before we dive into this, I do need to kind of cover something else about how we ended up with this car, why I have this, and why I chose to do a build on this car. Which means, in order for me to do that, I'm gonna have to reveal another one of my cars. This is my 1997 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4 twin turbo. This car is my absolute pride and joy. I absolutely love this car. I have not shown this on the channel yet. You may have seen it maybe in some of my background of my videos for my Blue car, but today we are revealing it. I'm not going to go in depth with this, but I'm just showing you this to kind of point out the fact that this car did not just come out of nowhere. These are my favorite cars. I've owned several, including the Dodge Stealth version of these, as well as a couple of the SL versions for the Mitsubishi 3000 GTs. So I'm pretty familiar with this platform and what to do with them. The good part about having two of these cars on hand is that I can kind of cross-reference them and see where stuff goes, what brackets are needed, all the parts. We can swap anything if we're trying to like trial and error. There's a lot of different things that we can do, and it gives us a reference point of what we're going to do with this car somewhat. Let's just start out at the very front of the car here. I'll show you what we have, and we're just going to kind of go over the entire car here one at a time. This is the 97 to 98 front bumper that comes on these cars. In my opinion, I think they look pretty decent. We have the fog lights here. This one's cracked right over here. This one over here on this side is fine. This is really dirty just from where it's been sitting. Now, I've actually had this car for a couple months now, and I have not touched a single thing on it. So this is basically pretty much exactly how I got this car. I do have the headlights. They're inside of the car. I had to pull these off and remove the entire front clip to get this on the trailer. So that way it would actually clear with the bottom because it is pretty low. The hood itself is not in bad shape. There is a bunch of these like bubbling surface rust spots on here in quite a few different spots, but that's fine. We're probably going to run a different hood on this anyway. And the front bumper, I might change this up too as well. There's a bunch of parts that I'll need to try and find for this car that I just haven't got to yet. This fender over here is in pretty decent shape. This is just all scuffing, a couple minor scratches in here. Most of this can be sanded out. We do have a definite ding over here on this side it's not bad, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair this or not. So I'm kind of on the fence if I'm going to need to get a fender or not for that. There is a little crack right here that can easily be repaired for our A-pillar. The mirror's fine. The complete door panel here looks to be pretty solid. No complaints there. I don't even see any door dings, but I'll have to definitely clean it up and see what we have. The side skirt here is in decent shape. A little bit of scuffing here, but I'm not going to replace this or anything. This is good to go. There's the rear quarter. Everything on the rear quarter looks pretty good. There was a couple small dings in here, but not a big deal. A little bit of surface rust and stuff like that. This is pretty common for the age of these vehicles. Wipers rusted. The antenna is broke on it. Take us to the back here. There is a pretty decent sized gouge right in the middle that we're gonna have to repair right here. So that's gonna have to be cleaned up a little bit. Other than that, just some minor chips and nicks in the actual rear bumper itself. And this part is fine. There's no damage really with this rear part. This is all good and solid, aside from just the surface rust up here in this section. Hoop wing, nothing really too out of the ordinary with this. Everything looks good and intact here. This side looks pretty good. These wheels are not in too bad a shape. There is a little bit of curb rash on some of these, but these probably aren't going to stay with the car anyways. But nonetheless, I probably will end up selling these wheels off of this car though. And then there is, looks like a pair of vice grips in here holding up this actual side skirt over here. So we're definitely going to need to do some type of a repair here. And then this is definitely cracked right here. So we'll have to get to that and fix that there. Some chipping here on the door, and almost all of these weather strips on this car are in need of some help, which makes sense because of the age of them, but these are probably going to be pretty difficult to find. And I know if you get these new, they're super expensive and they're hard to find used in any good shape too. One of the biggest pet peeves with this car is going to be this sunroof. There is some rusting, bubbling, and peeling almost all the way around this in quite a few different spots, especially right there. That's probably going to be one of the hardest things to get on this car is this sunroof, because they only made this style I think for 3 years, from 97 to 99. So that's definitely going to have to be something I'm going to have to find before I get into like painting this car or anything. We do have a damaged mirror over here. We'll have to pick up another mirror for this. Other than that, this door seems to be pretty decent. This fender over here, pretty good. I mean, a couple minor chips and scratches, that's all fine. That's everything for the exterior. We're just going to take you through a quick run of the interior here. Door panel, everything looks pretty decent on here, just needs a good cleaning. The seat, we do have one little rip here, not too bad. Some peeling. Honestly, for the age of these seats, they do not look that bad at all. Passenger one is pretty decent. We do have the carpet floor mats for both of these still, the original ones, so that's good. There's an aftermarket shift knob in here. Looks like this leather was replaced at some point because it's pretty decent. Aftermarket touchscreen stereo, which is pretty cool. This does have the digital climate control display. Now this is a little bit different from a lot of the other VR4s. The 98 and the 99s have a different setup for this display, so this one is pretty unique and cool, so that's kind of nice. Everything up here is stock gauges. Everything over here is stock. I'll show you guys the mileage here. This has 137,000 miles on it. That's kind of like in the middle. It's not good, but it's not bad. I know that this car has been sitting quite a while. We'll go ahead and pop the trunk. And I just have a mess of parts in here pretty much right now. So we do have the two headlights. We have the turn signals right here. There is a CD player right over here. That's pretty much about it for the run through of here. Now we can get to the part that everybody wants to see, the motor. Here we go. So this is obviously the legendary 6G72 twin turbo motor with the 6-speed manual Getrag, or Getrag, however you say it, transmission. Definitely needs some work in here. There is quite a few things that have been deleted, brackets missing, some bolts missing, which is honestly pretty common for the way that a lot of these are. It definitely needs quite a bit of work and quite a bit of getting other parts together, but structurally pretty much all of the bones for this car are in here, which is pretty much a great sign for what we need. There's been quite a bit of maintenance done to this car. I have quite a few receipts and service records to show that there has been a lot of maintenance done, such as timing belt, water pump, all that stuff was done. Fluids have been changed out. I think spark plugs, wires, stuff like that, which is, it's all great stuff. And from my understanding, this car actually spent a good portion of its life in Hawaii, which is great because they don't have winters, which means no snow, which means no salt. And looking underneath this car, it's gonna be hard to show you on camera, but there really is no rust that I can see that's significant underneath the car. There is a little bit of just like surface rust up in here underneath this bumper that we'll have to clean up. I do plan on building the motor up a little bit. We're gonna keep it as is, but we are gonna be upgrading some things such as turbos, intercoolers, fueling, all that stuff in order to make more power on this car. We do need to go through and do a little bit of transmission work on this by the sounds of it, but I also do want to do a full restoration of the body. I want to paint everything. That includes the engine bay as well. That's why I do plan on pulling this motor out and everything that's in here. I want to try to do everything myself and do it properly. I don't want to do a chintzy job. I absolutely love this car and I feel like it definitely deserves to be taken care of, and we need to be putting some time into this car in order to make it look right. That's pretty much a quick walkthrough and tour here. Just an introduction video. Hopefully you guys will stick around for the series and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.